Hey, it's Camo with the Nashville Access Facebook show, presented by Solus North Gulch Apartments, where taste matters. My special guest this morning is Gary West, making a return appearance. How you doing, man?
Great, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too. It's been about a year.
It's been more than that. It's been probably almost 2 years now.
Yeah, that's true.
The time flies, doesn't it?
You had released an album then that was a Johnny Cash tribute.
Yep.
And that's kind of your, I don't want to say that's your territory, but that's where you have entered into country music, is being that Cash type traditionalist.
It really is. You know, all my band is guys that played on the Grand Ole Opry for years with different artists. Greg Hutchins played, I guess, 25 years with Gene Shepard, and Glenn Dickerson. He's been there 27 years and played on the staff band, and then J.D. Hatfield plays harmonica with me, and he was with Reeves for 28, 29 years. One of the first people I met when I came to town. So it's a great group of guys. We're all friends, and so you know we latched onto the Johnny Cash thing, or I did, because I don't have a record deal. I don't have, and I don't know that I want one nowadays. But you know, being independent, I can do whatever I want, and it's a lot of fun. So we just kind of run the gamut ourselves like that. So.
That's cool. You have a new album out, and we'll talk about this stuff later. It's Gary West, Heroes, Friends, and Legends. I'll hold that up there. Now, you can get the CD. You can also get this credit card type. This has got USB in it, so you can plug that into your USB drive and get the record. You say you also got wristbands too.
Yeah, we have these little slap wristbands. You slap it on your wrist, and we have our first 2 albums on that. This is actually our 3rd album. The last one is volume 2, of course. Right. So,
wow. I like your style because you're not trying to be Johnny Cash. You're doing the style of music from the era when Cash was really in his prime.
Yeah, thank you, and that's the goal. You know, I'm not a Johnny Cash impersonator. I'm just Gary West. I love country. I love Johnny Cash music and Waylon, and so that's really kind of what we do. You know, nobody's going to come to see Gary West because they don't know who he is. But when we do our Johnny Cash tribute show, it draws very well just on the Cash name and you know, as a tribute show. So I think ours is different from anything that's out there because I'm not a Johnny Cash impersonator. Yeah. And we got all Nashville guys, so we have a great show, and we mix it up with other things with Waylon and Willie, and you know, of course, I played with Reeves for 2 years, and he was my hero before I ever played with him. So one of the guys that was king of impersonation. So I do a few impersonations. I did John Connolly to Edith Bunker. So we have fun no matter what.
Edith Bunker. For you kids that are watching,
it's a big draw.
Yes.
All of the family from the 70s, and Edith Bunker was a very distinct character on the show.
Oh, we do Hank Hill for the kids, you know. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, see, I don't even watch that. I get the Edith Bunker reference, but I don't. Well, I know it's King of the Hill.
I had boys, so my teenage boys they're grown now, but growing up through those teenage years, we had a lot of King of the Hill going on in the house.
Now you were talking just before we went live about doing a Cash festival or was it a festival and you were staying at Cash's?
Well, you know, 2 years ago when we did our album release, we actually we did their concert series. We opened up their concert series for the summer. So that was a couple years ago, and now this year, of course, we're back there doing our CD release party.
We'll talk about that.
The house. I was just kind of kidding, you know, and he said, well, hey, let me make a call. I think I can work that out. And he calls me back. He says, all right, I got you in Johnny's house. He said, matter of fact, you're even staying in his bedroom. I said, no way, seriously? So yeah, I got to stay 2 nights in the farmhouse there, and you know, he called it the center of his universe. He had that farm for almost 33 years, right up until he passed away. So it's a beautiful place. It's just amazing. It's one of them things you just can't describe it until you go out there.
Was it weird staying in his bedroom?
It was very weird. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, and I still hadn't gone to sleep. I arrived there that night. They made the arrangements. They hid the key for me, for the gate, and to open the gate. And it's about 11:30 at night, and it's dark, and the gates open real slow, and it's way out in the country, So I drive up there, and it's kind of creepy. It's just a dark area. I mean, it's beautiful, but when you go up there by yourself, it's kind of creepy. So the weird thing was, I got to tell you this, is I had a Johnny Cash CD playing when I go up the drive, okay?
You have to.
So I unload my stuff, and I go out to the car to get the last of my things, and for whatever reason, Jackson is still playing on the radio. Now I've shut my car off, I've shut the door, I've locked it. It's never done this. And I'm sitting there, and I go all the way to the door, and I'm looking at it, and I'm going, why is this thing not shut off yet?
You've really carved out a cool niche doing the traditional stuff. And there seems to be a really big resurgence in people craving, if not the traditional sound, a throwback to eras where the music was simpler and time was a little bit less complicated, perhaps. Do you think you're kind of at the forefront of that? Or are you part of the pack?
I'd like to be. It seems like that this music that we love, Waylon and Cash and Willie, it seems like it's just slowly dissolved in as far as the market, as far as to be able to hear that type of music. Right. Now, you get out of Nashville, it's hard to find even, country music in a nightclub where you can find that type of music to play, of course, new top 40 country music. So, I feel like for us, the more it becomes rare, the more relevant we become, and it's like an old '72 Nova.
Yeah.
So hopefully, folks want to come and see it. We work down in Florida a lot, and we pack them in. It's like, golly, I've been waiting to hear this music. So hopefully, word gets around, and we just keep playing as long as we can.
What is the thing with Cash? Because he has been, he's been claimed by
Gospel to rockabilly to country to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Very few artists are in the Country Music Hall of Fame and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Songwriters Hall of Fame, Gospel Music Hall of Fame. So he crossed over so many lines of genres and appealed to so many different people. I think
which pissed off the labels at the time. When he was on labels, he was dropped.
Yeah. I think when he started his gosh, I don't know what you want to call it, but when he became more spiritual, started doing more gospel things, it scared the heck out of the labels, and they just wanted to drop him off. And I think it was maybe Why Me Lord, I think it's why, maybe he did something like that. I'm trying to think of what it was, but it scared him to death. But he ended up, doing the show for another year and a half after that. So
it's also cool that, towards the end of his life, he became just ultra prolific in putting out music. And Rick Rubin produced his stuff, which was great because Rick strips things right down to what they're supposed to be. And Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers were the backup band.
Yep, some of my favorite stuff. And, I agree. Rick Rubin just did such a great job with him of stripping that down so we can really hear Johnny Cash, and the quality of the recordings were great.
Yeah.
Johnny Cash was great back in the old days, but the recordings were great for the time.
Yeah.
But nowadays, we get to finally hear it, through modern technology and stuff. It sounds so much better, I think.
Yeah, I think because when you're listening to stuff on iPhone or whatever, and you're listening to music with modern production, even traditional country with modern production, then you hear the old production come up. Sometimes to people that can be a turnoff because it doesn't sound as good.
Right.
And you have to be bringing younger people into the fold to get it, to keep it going.
Absolutely. Yep.
So it has to be able to stand up to modern production values.
Yep. That's kind of with ours. I think I've always produced my own music from the beginning, and I've recorded blues. But it takes on such a completely different perception. For the first time, you can almost become that guy that's in Folsom Prison and saying those words.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so powerful, So I want to try something. I know it's kind of crazy, but in some of my shows, my acoustic shows, I do funny things. I'll do Ring of Fire to the tune of Johnny Be Good, and some funny things like that.
So let's do a song, and then we'll talk more about your music.
All right. Well, I wasn't planning on doing this, but since we were talking about Johnny Cash, and this is a song I wrote just a couple nights before we went in the studio to record, and probably I'll just do this for you. But anyway, this is called For the Love of Cash, because I always get the question of, why do you do all this Johnny Cash music? So maybe an appropriate song to do today.
Gary West.
When I was a baby, Daddy played all his songs by my crib. I would listen to the Opry all night long. Songs of trains and tragedy, and none of it came free. He had a price to pay for every line he'd sing. I just love to hear it, that twangy Luther sound. There's no way around it, it's a kick and thumping sound. If you're soft and tender, it may not be for you. But if you're not offended, well, we know you get it too. They asked me why I do it, I said, let me tell you why. I like it when I'm sober and I love it when I'm high. That rockabilly feel, it's a hit at every bash. I don't do it for the money, I do it for the love of cash. Everywhere I go, people know his name, from his TV shows and Opry to the Country Hall of Fame. Now don't get me wrong, cause I don't idolize, but his name is more than music, even in music's eyes. It's a lot of trouble to play the Folsom Prison Blues. Sometimes I think about it till I wonder why I do. But I just keep working, trying to live that dream. I love to hear that tick-tock and that lonesome whistle scream. They asked me why I do it, I said, let me tell you why. I like it when I'm sober and I love it when I'm high. That rockabilly feel, it's a hit at every bash. I don't do it for the money, I do it for the love of cash. Now money is a factor, we all agree is true. I got bills to pay and I know that you do too. So I appreciate you buying this little country song. Put some diesel in this bus and a Detroit sings us home. They asked me why I do it, I said, let me tell you why. I like it when I'm sober and I love it when I'm high. That rockabilly feel, it's a hit at every bash. I don't do it for the money, I do it for the love of cash. I don't do it
cash right
You
there.
know, it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible habit. I started when I was very young. I started playing bar chords, and I play them right. Sometimes I still refer to that, and I don't play that note, and I will put it up there. It looks like I'm giving the old fingers.
It's recreating
But hey,
the famous cash picture. Yeah,
Perfect for this song, right?
that's excellent. So you used to be a police officer.
That's true.
What makes you decide I'm done playing, or I'm done being a cop, I'm going to play music?
Gosh, you know, that's
kind of a huge step. You get tired of people shooting at you?
You know, let me start from again. I guess I played music my whole life, and when 9/11 happened, I was playing at the Opryland Hotel. We was playing there 4 nights a week. Playing the Grand Ole Opry with little Jimmy Dickens at the time, 8 spots a week, had a recording studio. Life was great. When 9/11 happened, after that, it's like somebody shut the faucet off.
Yeah.
They canceled all the entertainment at the hotel. We got down to 1 spot a week at the Grand Ole Opry. Couldn't give away a demo. Everything was went to heck.
Yeah.
So at that point, I had some friends that were cops and stuff, and I started out talking to a buddy of mine, and lo and behold, I ended up going to the academy. I was 39 years old, and kind of just a whole career change, because I just thought, music's in the toilet. I'm done. I'm out of here. I got to do something else. I had boys, 3 boys at home and a wife. So I went to police academy, and I did that for a while. And I felt like
did you go to Police Academy 1 or Police Academy 8?
Oh yeah. I went right over here in Donald's.
Yeah, because Police Academy 1 was far superior.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We had some good times there, and it was a great experience. I will say that. But no, I did that for a few years, and I did miss music. And I got remarried to a gal that I'd known for 34 years, and she
And how cool is that? You're making a living, making music.
Yeah, very blessed.
You don't have to have a side gig.
It's a tough thing. We work on it day in and day out, just like you guys do with your program, and I'm so proud of what you guys do here.
Thank you.
It's not easy. Folks don't have any idea how much work it.
No, let them kid you. This is a chimp could do this.
Right.
You have to be a well-groomed chimp, but a chimp.
Yeah. What a fancy chimp you are.
So you found really cool pockets in the country that just love what you're doing.
Yeah, we seem to do well in Florida, and I think the folks just my age, finally their kids are off to college or graduated from college, and now they can go do things that they want to enjoy to do. So we try to show up in those places. In Florida, we work a lot in Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, and then we're going out to New Mexico. Actually, 2 trips out there this year, and we're playing some cool places. Mr. Bob Funk, he's one of the top 10 landowners in the United States. He's a rancher, and we're playing one of his functions out there and opening up for Leanne Rhymes, and so we got a lot of exciting things happening this year.
That'll be fun opening up for Leanne.
Yeah.
People tend to forget about her these days, but
oh gosh, she's so wonderful, man.
Still got the pipes.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah. You've met a lot of people in your career. Who was kind of the big one for you?
Golly, I got to meet so many people at the Opry, and I think the biggest one for me was kind of funny. It was Hank Williams Jr. and we were they were supposed to have a tribute for Waylon Jennings,
Right.
and 3 days before he passed away, And so we were at the Ryman, and they were having the the Grand Ole Opry at the Ryman at the time during the winter. And so there was Travis Tritt and Marty Stewart. Phone with my buddy. He says, "Germ, Hank, you got a Germ, Hank Jr." So I'm like, okay. So I went up to him, and he's going, "Hank Jr. this, Hank Jr. that."
Yeah, I always speaks in the third person.
Yeah. I said, that's kind of, I was like a little kid. I felt like a little kid. I said, "Hey, Hank," I said, I played drums for old Jimmy Dickens. He goes, "Oh, hey, Hoss, I'm sorry about that."
Yeah.
And I said, "Man, I really hate to germ you, but could I get a picture with you?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, sure, Hoss, come on in here." So Dave's taking a picture of the guitar player. And we're in here, and you know how they fiddle with the camera. You know how that happens. And he pulls me in real close, and he whispers in my ear. He goes, "Don't worry about it, Hoss. I've germed a lot in my life." Because it's hard for a musician to go up to somebody like that and ask for a picture, I think it always has been for me.
It is hard when you're in the industry, and it's always that kind of balance of, because I had it in England with Pete Townsend from The Who, and I was at a Border Collie fundraising event.
Yes.
And you're so used to seeing some of these people from their early days and albums, and those are the images that you don't think of them aging.
Yes.
And I was in the coffee tent, and I saw this guy. I thought, damn, he looks familiar. Who is it? And we did, the eyes.
He will probably, yes.
And where you're from, and what you did for a living.
It's pretty
before.
dang amazing.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, he remembers everything. Dude, let's do another song, and
Okay.
we'll talk about the albums and what you've got going on.
This is I'm gonna do you a song that it's not all Cash songs on there. So this one is a Waylon song. Was a flower for the taking, her beauty cut just like a knife. Keep an eye on her while he was gone. Some say they ran away together. Some say that gardener left alone. Now the banker is an old man, and the mansion's crumbling down. He's Sits all day and stares at the garden. Not a trace of her was ever found. And every time he talked about her, you could see the fire in his eyes. He said, I would walk through hell on Sunday to keep my rose in paradise. There's a rose out in the garden. Its beauty cuts just like a knife. Some say it even grows in the wintertime and blooms in the dead of the night.
Yeah.
I just, you know.
So, volume 1, you got 3 volumes
Yep.
of Heroes, Friends, and Legends. And this, There Ain't No Trains. Yeah, now I have my glasses on so I can see distance. I can't see it.
Right.
Tumbleweed, 9-Pound Hammer. Don't do it for the money, do it for the love of cash, which you did.
I think Jackson's probably the pinnacle song on there. Leona Williams sang that with me. You know,
Nice.
Leona Williams wrote some great Haggard songs. You
Yeah,
know,
great writer.
She's just wonderful. I've been in this town a long, long time, man. I came here in 1988, and we've made a lot of friends and acquaintances over the years. And this album is really is exactly what it is: Heroes, Friends, and Legends. All those guys in the band have played with, you know, some of the greatest legends in country music, dozens of them. And then we did a song on there called "A Dozen Pair of Boots," and that was a Del Reeves song. As I told you, I played with Del Reeves. And Eugene Moles played guitar on it. Eugene also had played with Del Reeves for many years.
Wow.
And before that, his father, they come from Bakersfield, they're West Coast folks. And the guitar that he used on Dozen Pair of Boots was originally Don Rich's guitar.
Wow,
and
from Buck Owens Buckaroos.
Yeah, absolutely. And boy, it growls. I mean, it growls just like that guitar, you know. And so folks will really like that. And so all of it has, the whole album has elements of, you know, to me, heroes. They're all my heroes, friends, and legends, along with certainly Leona Williams. And so the question is, it legitimize it? You know, I would like to think so at some point. That, you know, we've been doing this a long, long time, man. We've been around the block. So these are great guys, and you know, I enjoy playing with them. They're like family. So I don't know if it legitimizes it or not.
And you know what? Who cares?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't even care
cares?
anymore. I think the music's good and it speaks for itself, and we have fun, and so that's all the name of the game.
Man, I'm really happy for you. I'm proud to see you.
Thank you very much.
You know, it's great when we have guests on the show that I can kind of follow along, and I'm proud of all the stuff you're doing.
Well, we're so grateful. Thank you.
His name is Gary West. This is volume 3, but you can buy the earlier volumes as well, and other music. Tell us quickly what you've got going on for the immediate thing. You've got a big CD release party going tomorrow night. That's the big deal.
At midnight tonight, I'll be on Marcia Campbell's show on all nighter on WSN.
Yeah,
I've been
nice.
friend Marcia, and known her for many years. So we'll be on there tonight, and then tomorrow's the big release release party at Johnny Cash's farm. It's in Bon Aqua, Tennessee, just about 40 miles south of Nashville. His farm that he had for 32 years.